Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Bhajana palana surakulana sana, Bhajana palana surakulana sana, Nanda Godana Kuvala, Nanda Dana Rakovala, Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara, Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara, Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara, Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara, Sundara Nanda Gopala, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yamuna Tata Chara Gopi Vasanahara, Yamuna Tata Chara Gopi Vasanahara, Yasara Sikha Kipamoya, Yasara Sikha Kipamoya, Shilada Vallabha Vindavana Natabara, Shilada Vallabha Vindavana Natabara, Bhakti Vinoda Shraya, Bhakti Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo, Nitai Gaura. Nitai Gaura, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo, Nitai Gaura. So this is a very beautiful spiritual chant by the Gita Vali, and it says, and these are all names of Krishna, so it's like chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yasoda, Yasomati Nandana, the transcendental lover in the land of Vraja, Vraja Bara Nagara, the delight of Gokula, Gokula Ranjana Kana. Kana, a nickname, which is a nickname of Krishna. The wealth of the lives of the gopis, Gopi Puranadana. He steals the mind of even Cupid, Madana Mohana, and punishes the Kaliya serpent, Kaliya Damana Vidana. Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Nanda Godana Rako Wala. Krishna is the Lord of the 12 forests of Vraja. Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara. He is ever youthful and is the best of lovers. Sundara Nandara Gopala. He is always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser. Okay, I think I skipped something. Let me see. No, okay. So then, yeah, I skipped something. Okay. Brajajana Palana. Krishna is the protector of the inhabitants of Vraja, the destroyer of various demoniac dynasties, the keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaja's cows, the giver of pleasure to the cows, land, and spiritual senses, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the butter thief, and the beautiful cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wanders along the banks of the river Yamuna. He stole the garments of the young damsels of Vraja who were bathing there. He delights in the mellows of the rasa dance. He is very merciful, the lover and beloved of Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavana, and the shelter and only refuge of Thakur Bhaktivinoda. So we see what a great poet Bhaktivinoda Thakur is. He writes a song in which all the names of Krishna are given, and each name represents a transcendental quality or a pastime of the Lord. So this is real poetry. Hare Krishna. He's going to have to put this up on us. Give him one right away. So this bhajan is also about Radha and Krishna. It says, the divine couple, Shishi Radha and Krishna, is my life and soul. In life or death, I have no other refuge but them. In a forest of small kadamba trees on the bank of the Yamuna, I will seat the divine couple on a throne made of brilliant jewels. I will anoint their dark and fair forms with sandalwood paste scented with chuya, and I will fan them with a chamara whisk Oh, when will I behold their moon-like faces? After stringing together garlands of malati flowers, I will place them around their necks, and I will offer tambula, scented with camphor, to their lotus mouths. With the permission of all the Sakhis, headed by Lalita and Vishaka, I will serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Narottam Dasa, the servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, longs for this service to the divine couple. Jai. Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Jivane marane gati aro nahi more Jivane marane gati aro nahi more Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Kalindira Kule Keli Kadam Biravana Kalindira Kule Keli Kadam Biravana Ratana Bedira Upara Osabodu Jana Ratana Bedira Upara Osabodu Jana Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Jivani marane gati aro nahi more Jivani marane gati aro nahi more Shama Gori Ange Divo Chandela Niraganda Shama Gori Ange Divo Chandela Niraganda Chamara Dulabho Kabe Eri Mukha Chandra Chamara Dulabho Kabe Eri Mukha Chandra Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore. Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore. Gatiya Mala Dirmala Tibodohara Gale. Gatiya Mala Dirmala Tibodohara Gale. Adare tu diya dibo Karpura tambule. Adare tu diya dibo Karpura tambule. Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore. Jivane marane gati aro nahi mo. Jivane marane gati aro nahi mo. Valita Vishaka Adi Shatasaki Brinda. Patita Vishaka Adi Shatasaki Brinda. Ajaya Kori Bohseba Sharana Ravinda. Ajaya Kori Bohseba Sharana Ravinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasanudasan. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasanudasan. Seva Abhilasa Kore Narottama Dasa Seva Abilasa Kore Narottama Dasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Premanandi Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Samasta prayesu abhadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamasloke bhakti bhavati naistiki tadarajastamo bhavo kamalo badayaschaye cheta etaranavidam shitvam sattve prasidati Shinvrata swakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Hidyanta Sto Badrani Vidunati Sahitsatam Evam Prasana Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavad Tattva Vidyana Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hridaya Krantis Shidyante Sava Samsaya Shiyante Tasya Karmani Drishta Evat Manishware Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavad Gita Grantha Raj Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Ki Jai So today we're going to discuss what is the purpose of this material creation. I asked my father this question once, and he gave me a big slap on the head, and he said, "Don't ask stupid questions." I didn't ask that question again for at least 12 years. I was 10 years old when I asked him. It wasn't until I met Srila Prabhupada that I asked that question. What is the purpose of life? What's the purpose of this material creation? Why are we here? What are we really supposed to do? And this is explained in the 13th chapter, 20th verse of the Bhagavad Gita, where it says, Pakritim Purusham Chaiva. You can put that verse up, 13:20. Pakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidya Anadi Ubhav Api Vikarams Cha Gunams Chaiva Vidhi Pakriti Sambhavan. So let's chant this. I'll chant first, then you repeat. Pakritim Purusham Chaiva Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhav Api Vidyanadi Ubhav Api Vidyanadi Ubhav Api Vidyanadi Ubhav Api Vikarams Cha Gunams Chaiva Vikarams Cha Gunams Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavam Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavam Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi Vikarams Cha Gunams Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavam. So this verse says, material nature and the living entity should be understood to be beginningless. That means the material nature that we see, right? The trees, the sun, the moon, all these things, it's actually eternal. It's not temporary. And all the living entities like you, me, the ants, the snakes, the chickens, they're eternal also. Not their bodies, but the souls. They're all eternal. Now, the second point. The transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature. So, all the changes that you see in your body, from youth, middle age, to maturity, to middle age, to old age, all those changes are products of material nature. It's happening due to time and the influence of the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance on the body. And the modes of matter, all these things are products of material nature. Now, in the purport, or the explanation, Srila Prabhupada explains, by the knowledge given in this chapter, one can understand the body, which is the field of activities, and the knowers of the body, both the individual soul and the supersoul. So this means in everybody's body, it can be the ant, or it can be the human being, it can be the elephant, it can be the devata. There is an individual soul, that's the person, you or me, and Krishna as Paramatma, or the supersoul. So there's two souls in this body, right? And they are called the knowers. We are one knower of the body, and Krishna is the super knower. He knows more about our body than we do. That's why we can function even when we're sleeping, because somebody else is watching it and knows how to keep the engine running. And so it says that the body is the field of activities. All the activities we perform either with the gross body or the subtle body. The subtle body is the mind, intelligence, and false ego. So when you sleep, your subtle body is acting. You have dreams. You see a tiger running after you, and you're scared. And you're screaming, "Tiger, tiger!" Then you wake up and you realize it was only a dream. Thank God. But the tiger had already caught you. You could feel the nails going into your skin, Then you woke up and you realized, oh, thank God, that was not true. Yeah. But it was true, because you're sweating, you were afraid, you were experiencing it. So we see that we experience reality in the mind. So, therefore, we have a daydream and a night dream. What we're seeing now, when we fall asleep, it looks like a dream. And what we see in the dream, it looks real, but when we wake up, that looks like a dream. So we have a daydream and a night dream. They're both dreams. Right. So then, you can ask a question, what is real? What is actually real? That question is easy to answer. Whenever you act as a soul to the Supreme Soul, Krishna, that is real. Everything else is more or less false in this sense. It becomes like a dream after it's over. You can't hold on to it. But you can hold on to Krishna eternally. Because Krishna is not a dream, he's real. Real meaning he's eternal. And your soul is eternal. But as long as we grab or run after temporary things, it's like a dream. Just like if you catch the tiger, let's say you're able to tie up the tiger that was chasing you in your dream. But when you wake up, the tiger's not there, you see. And now, if you catch some money during the day, right? You're earning money, you get the money, right? But when you go to sleep, you don't know where it is. You're not aware of it, you see. So it becomes a dream. When you wake up, you have to remind yourself, oh yeah, I put money in my left-hand pocket, and you go look to make sure, right? And if it's not there, then you get confused, right? So here it's saying the body is the field of activity and it's composed of material nature. So everything in the body and all the other bodies we see, they're made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Mind, intelligence, and false ego, and the soul. So you have two bodies covering the soul. You have the gross body, and you have the subtle body. The gross body is earth, water, fire, air, and space. And the subtle body is mind, intelligence, and false ego. Now, when you die, it's only your gross body that dies. The subtle body doesn't die. And of course, the soul is eternal, so it doesn't die. So as long as the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, and false ego, are contaminated with material desires, you have to take birth again in the material world. And that subtle body will carry your soul to the next body. It's a very subtle thing. Can you see your mind? See, by the way, the mind is not the brain. It's different than the brain. The brain is like a muscle. The mind is more subtle than that. And the intelligence is more subtle than the mind. The false ego is more subtle than the intelligence. And the soul is more subtle than all of them. You see? So we're dealing with things that we can't see, but we know they exist. And if we have embedded in our mind many images of material, let's say, desires, that will force us to take birth again. And the mind is the center of our activity in life. We experience things through the mind. Therefore, if you can control the mind, you become a yogi. And if you can't control the mind, you become a bogi. Bogi means someone who's just interested in sense gratification. And a yogi is someone who can control the senses and the mind. The body is the field of activity and is composed of material nature. The individual soul that is embodied and enjoying the activities of the body is the Purusha, or the living entity. So Purusha literally means the enjoyer in Sanskrit. But there are two kinds of Purushas. There's the Kshara Purusha and the Akshara Purusha. The Kshara Purusha is fallible. In other words, the Purusha with a small p who is fallible means he's making mistakes all the time. My wife tells me I'm making mistakes all the time. Everything I do is a mistake. See? So that means I'm a Kshara. And the Akshara is infallible, never makes a mistake. So Krishna is the Akshara Purusha, and all of us are the Kshara Purushas, because we're making mistakes. If the fact that we're in this world with a material body means we made huge mistakes in the past. Therefore, we're stuck in a body that's destined to get old, to get sick and die. And these things are not pertinent to the soul. The soul never dies. But as long as we identify with the body, we get affected by it. I just did a Shrud ceremony today. And people were affected by the death of somebody they love very much. However, if we understand the eternality of the soul, then we won't get affected by old age, disease, and death. And actually, we can become liberated from that cycle. It is possible in this lifetime to be liberated from the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. And that's what this verse is going to explain now. So he says, the individual soul that is embodied and enjoying the activities of the body is the Purusha, or the living entity. He is one knower, and the other is the super soul. Of course, it is to be understood that both the super soul and the individual entity are different manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means we are part and parcel of Krishna. We come from Krishna. We belong to Krishna. Therefore, our duty in life is actually to serve Krishna. Just like, let's say you have your son. Do you expect him to serve you? Yes. Yes. If he doesn't, what do you do? Yeah, you punish him, right? Well, we're all the sons and daughters of Krishna, so what should Krishna expect of us? We should serve him, right? And if we don't serve him, then, he doesn't get angry, but he puts you in this world, and you have to get the results of your activities, either good or bad, and they keep you in this world. So, you would do the same thing. If your son refuses to serve you, he revolts. Let's say he gets to be 18 and he's bigger than you and he's got muscles now, and you can't handle him anymore, and he says, "Dad, I'm done with you." So what are you going to do? You have to let him do what he wants, and you'll have to learn the hard way, right? You want to help him not make mistakes, but he's insisting on making mistakes, so okay. So in the same way, Krishna cannot force us to love him or to serve him. We have some limited free will. So as long as we insist on using our limited free will in an irresponsible way, Krishna says, okay, then you'll learn the hard way. It's called the school of hard knocks in English. You know what a knock is? You get knocked out, right? So if you want to learn the hard way, then you get the punishment of the laws of karma until you figure out, wait a minute, this isn't right. I want to be happy and I'm always miserable. That means I must have made some mistakes. So you can come to the temple and find out what the mistake is. The mistake is we belong to Krishna, and our purpose in life should be to serve Krishna. We're part of Krishna's family. His family's name, his gotra, is Achyuta Gotra. So Achyuta means he's infallible. So it's a good family to be a member of. You can also become infallible. You never make a mistake. So, both material nature and the living entity are eternal. That is to say that they existed before the creation. The material manifestation is from the energy of the Supreme Lord, and so also are the living entities. But the living entities are of the superior energy. So, there are two types of energy coming from Krishna. They're called superior energy, that's the souls, like you and me. And then the inferior energy, that's the material nature. Even though the material nature is inferior, it's still spiritual, it's still eternal. So, therefore, the material energy belongs to Krishna. Our souls belong to Krishna. And all incarnations coming from Krishna. The spiritual light called the Brahma Jyoti comes from Krishna, and that Brahma Jyoti comes in the material world reflected off the sun. So that sunlight is actually spiritual energy that belongs to Krishna, and all life depends on the sunlight. There's one sun in this universe, and it illuminates the whole universe. All the stars simply reflect the sun, including the moon. And that light of the sun keeps everything alive. If the sun stopped shining, we would all die very quickly. You see? Because that light is actually spiritual. So now we see the material nature of which our bodies are made belong to Krishna. Our soul belongs to Krishna. And the sunlight that keeps everything alive, that belongs to Krishna. And all the avatars that come into the world, they come from Krishna. And everything belongs to Krishna. So what is the conclusion? Everything should be used in the service of Krishna. That's the conclusion. The material manifestation is from the energy of the Supreme Lord, and so also are the living entities. But the living entities are the superior energy. Both the living entities and the material nature existed before this cosmos was manifested. Material nature was absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu, and when it was required, it was manifested by the agency of Mahat Tattva. Similarly, the living entities are also in Him, and because they are conditioned, they are averse to serving the Supreme Lord. Thus, they are not allowed to enter into the spiritual sky. But with the coming forth of material nature, these living entities are again given a chance to act in the material world and prepare themselves to enter into the spiritual world. That is the mystery of this material creation. So here's the answer. The reason this material world exists and the reason we're here is to give us a chance to correct ourselves, to understand the mistakes that we've made in previous lives, and correct ourselves and then go back to Godhead, go back to Krishna. When you go back to Krishna, you maintain your individuality. Now, as I've said before, there's tremendous information in the Vedic literature about the spiritual world. You don't find that information in the Bible or the Quran or Buddhist writings, but you find them in large amounts in the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures. Now, in the spiritual world, there are couples who are eternal husband and wife. They've perfected themselves. So if you go to Vaikuntha, there are many couples. Because, just like you've heard of Devaki and Vasudeva, right? You heard of Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda Mai. These are couples who are eternally liberated in the spiritual world. How did they reach that position? Simply by serving Krishna with a pure heart. So, this is our destiny as human beings. This is what we should understand. We're given a chance, especially in the human body, in this material world, to understand what is the purpose of life. And that purpose of life is to correct our behavior, correct our thinking, so that we can prepare ourselves to go back to Godhead. And what's the best moment of life? It's actually the moment of death. Yes, in the moment of death, you pray. You're supposed to pray. Vayur anilam amritam ateyadam basmantam sariram om kratos smara kritam smara kratos smara kritam smara. Oh, my dear Lord, now I'm going to leave my body. My body will become ashes. It will be burned in the fire, and the air of my body will join the air of the universe. In other words, my body will be finished. So now, at this moment of death, I pray, please remember all the service I did for you in my lifetime. And what happens if you say this prayer at the moment of death? Krishna, of course, knows everything. So even if you don't say that prayer, even if you are even unconscious, Krishna is going to remember everything you did. But however, if you consciously say that prayer, then all those good things that you did in your life, coming to the temple, bowing down, giving dawn, chanting Hare Krishna, offering flowers to the Lord, bringing ghee, bringing milk, bringing fruits, grains, and doing other services, volunteering for Ananda Mela, and all these things, that'll appear in front of your eyes in a very short period of time. And you will see, if you've been meditating on Radha and Krishna, you will see them, and they'll be smiling. And Krishna will extend his hand to you and shake your hand and say, welcome back where you belong. There's a description in the Srimad Bhagavatam that when a person arrives in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayana welcomes him by shaking his hand, saying, welcome back. So, this is our destiny. This is what we should be aiming for. This is the ultimate goal of human life. This is the purpose of the material creation, to give us a chance to develop this pure consciousness and love for Krishna, Radha and Krishna, and go back to Godhead. There is no difference. This is called the mystery of material creation. Why does it say mystery? Because most people don't understand. Most people have the mistaken idea that the purpose of the material creation, the purpose of life, is to enjoy. You go to Las Vegas, Sin City, and you commit sins. And that's called enjoyment. Drinking, gambling, and all that good stuff. And you go to parties, and in fact, now I heard that in places like Sammamish and Redmond, Indian couples organized marijuana parties. Before it was wine, before it was, beer and everything. Now they're organizing marijuana parties. You want to be invited to? Yeah, this is advanced life. So this whole thing is nonsense. That's so far away from the purpose of life. The purpose of life is actually go back to our real family, Achyuta Gotra, and live eternally. And in the eternal world, everything is unlimited. There's no limit to the happiness, there's no limit to the peace, there's no limit to the love. See, everything in this world is limited. But our desires are unlimited because our desires are coming from our soul. All we have to do is correct the desires. Instead of desiring flimsy, temporary things, we should desire Radha Krishna, Seva. And we should engage in that service. And then you see, the whole spiritual world will open up to you. So it says here that, but with the coming forth of material nature, these living entities are again given a chance to act in the material world and prepare themselves to enter into the spiritual world. That is the mystery of the material creation. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. But due to his rebellious nature, he is conditioned within material nature. It really does not matter how these living entities or superior entities of the Supreme Lord have come in contact with material nature. The Supreme Lord, or Supreme Personality of Godhead, knows, however, how and why this actually took place. In the scriptures, the Lord says that those attracted by this material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. Now let's stop and think about that. Those who are attracted by the material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. What does that mean exactly? That means as long as we're attracted to iPhone 10, to Tesla, to digital media, all these things, we become entangled by them. It's called karma band. And it forces us to struggle hard. Just like you have a job and they lay you off, right? Now you have to find another job. You have an H-1B visa and now Trump is going to stop them. So people get, anxious right away. What's going to happen? And then you're afraid even to leave the country because they might not let you come back in. You don't know anymore. So you see, we're struggling all the time. And even in India, everyone's struggling. We don't have to go through all the points. So, because we're attracted to the material nature, just like if a cobra has a very expensive diamond on its head, people might want to take a chance to grab the diamond. But of course, you try and grab the diamond, the cobra's going to bite you. Right? Or another example is, let's say there's two people in an airplane, and one of them has a parachute, the other doesn't, and they both decide to jump out of the airplane. Which one do you think will survive? Huh? The one with the parachute, right? So, when we become convinced of the material point of view, that the material world was created for our enjoyment, that's like jumping out of the airplane without the parachute, right? That's a really stupid thing to do. The material world was created to give us a chance to become pure lovers of God and go back to Godhead. That means we have a parachute. And the parachute's going up, it's not coming down, it's going back to Godhead. Right? However, if we become convinced of the material point of view, that the purpose of life is to make money and then enjoy it by drinking, eating, and philandering and everything, whatever. Enjoying, a high-tech bed, enjoying high-tech this, high-tech that, and then it's jumping out of the airplane without a parachute. See? But the material nature looks attractive, you say. Just like one day, I saw a woman walking down the street, but her back was to me. And she had high heels and a tight dress and long, pretty hair. So I was thinking, wow, it must be a very pretty lady. So I was walking behind her, and I thought, well, maybe I'd just walk a little faster. So I walk a little faster, and as I'm passing her, I take a look. She actually was a very old lady. From the back, she looked like a young girl. But when I saw her, I saw, she didn't have her Botox, so she had a lot of wrinkles and everything. So you understand, material nature is like that. They make things look good. Things look good in material nature, but actually, when you look closely, it's not good. You see? And therefore, there's such a thing as Sankhya Yoga. And Sankhya Yoga, the idea is that there are 24 fundamental elements in nature. Now, let's say you see a very handsome man, Now, if you put that handsome man on a surgical table, and you get a scalpel and you make an incision right down, from his neck to his belly button, and you open up his skin, then you start taking out the organs. As you keep dissecting the body, at a certain point the attraction is lost. That's called Sankhya, where you analyze things down to, you separate the elements one by one from whatever you're looking at. At a certain point you'll lose attraction to it, you see. But if you put it all back together again, it looks very beautiful and very attractive. This is what we have to do. What is actually beautiful is the soul and the consciousness of a person. Just like I had a great auntie, and she was very old when I was a young boy, but she had a beautiful soul. And I'm sure you've experienced that too. Everything she did was out of pure kindness and love for all the little kids in the house, and we all loved her because every day she would do nice things for us, right? Now she didn't look like a movie star, but she was beautiful because her soul was beautiful, because her behavior was beautiful, her words were beautiful. She would always speak nicely and give us nice food and give us little presents, take us to church and things like that. See? So she was actually a beautiful person, but she didn't look like a movie star, right? So beauty is not exactly a physical thing. Beauty of the soul far surpasses physical beauty. And we have to look at the soul rather than the body. The body is changing. Now someone is beautiful. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, they might be very old and ugly. But the soul is eternal. And if you have a pure soul, it's beautiful for eternity. And that is our destiny, is to clarify and beautify our soul by engaging in acts of devotion for the most beautiful. Just like we see, why do we decorate the deities every day? That's a lot of work. It takes 6 hours to do what you're seeing here every morning. We start at 5:30 and it doesn't end till about 9:30, and there's preparation before 5:30 and there's more preparations after 5:30. So this requires a lot of work. Why do we do it? Because we want to see the Lord glorified, right? And this is not an idol. Most people say, oh, the idols are there. These are not idols. There's a difference between an idol and a deity. If it was an idol, we wouldn't dress them every day. We wouldn't bathe them every day. We wouldn't make 6 offerings a day of fresh food. We wouldn't offer them fresh flowers. These are actual deities. Now, you might say, but I don't see the deity. I see an idol. Yes. But there's many things you don't see. You don't see electromagnetic waves going through this room right now. You don't see your heart, although you know you have a heart, right? I hope, right? There's so many things we don't see. But through education, through training, you will be able to see. that this is not an idol, it's actually a deity. And through service, because as you serve the deity intimately, the deity reciprocates. What is the first reciprocation of the deity? You become peaceful. You become gentle. You become very satisfied with what you're doing. And you think that I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. Just like there was one sannyasi I knew. So he was a very strict sannyasi. And he met one lady in Canada. And she asked him, give me your phone number so I can call you whenever I need you. He said, okay. So he gave her his phone number. So one day she calls him up from Toronto, and she said, Maharaj, I just won the Canadian National Lottery. He said, oh, how much did you win? He said, I won $35 million. He said, oh, I'm very happy for you. He said, wait a minute, Maharaj, I want to offer it all to you. He said, what? You want to offer it to me? What for? She said, I'll give it to you if you marry me. He said, you know, even if you gave me $35 billion, I wouldn't marry you. He said, but Maharaj, you can do so much good. You can open temples, you can travel. He said, I know, but I cannot violate my vow of sannyas. So no matter how much money you give me, I'm not interested. It's not that she was not an attractive woman or she was not sincere. She was sincere. She was offering him $35 million to marry her. But he said, no, because I made a vow of sannyas. I cannot break my vow. I made the vow in front of my Gurudev. I made the vow in front of Krishna. How can I break my vow? So that's a real sannyasi. So we have to be like that. We have to stick to our vows. There's the vow of marriage. There's the vow of initiation. You know, they're different samskars in life. And when we take vows, we have to keep them. That defines who we are. And that helps us come closer to Krishna. See? So here, we'll finish this. It says, that is the mystery of this material creation. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but due to his rebellious nature, he is conditioned within material nature. It really does not matter how these living entities or superior entities of the Supreme Lord have come in contact with material nature. The Supreme Personality Godhead knows, however, how and why this actually took place. In the scriptures, the Lord says that those attracted by this material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. But we should know it with certainty from the descriptions of these few verses that all transformations and influences of material nature by the three modes are also productions of material nature. All transformations and variety in respect to living entities are due to the body. As far as the spirit is concerned, living entities are all the same. That means our soul is eternal. The body is changing, the soul remains always one and whole. Therefore, we should, and Krishna is also eternal. So therefore, na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sada. Ubayor apidristo natas, tvanayos tatvadarshibhihi. Those who are great sages have seen that of the impermanent there's no duration, and of the permanent there's no cessation. So therefore, we should always be concerned with sat, what is eternal, and not be so interested in asat, those things that are temporary. Because everything that's temporary, including our own body, is going to come and go. But our soul is eternal. Our relationship to Krishna is eternal. Our relationship to other souls can be eternal if we both come to the same level of spiritual consciousness. Just like Vasudeva and Devaki, or Yasoda Mai and Nanda Maharaj. So, if you really love yourself, if you really love your family, if you really love humanity, then you should love God. Because with love of Krishna, you can save yourself, your family, and humanity. Just like Prabhupada. Now, what relationship do I have with Prabhupada? He was born in Bengal, I'm born in Philadelphia. I'm born in one family with one religion, different religion and everything, but we have a soul relationship. He corrected my vision with his Bhagavad Gita, and I realized, wait a minute, I'm not this body. I have a soul, and my soul has an eternal relationship with Krishna, and my soul belongs to Krishna. I was thinking all these years that my soul belongs to this family, my soul belongs to my racial and ethnic group, and so, but that's all false. My soul belongs to Krishna, and the whole material world belongs to Krishna. Therefore, I should dedicate my life to Krishna. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada, who came to America to spread Krishna consciousness. If he didn't do that, I would still be somewhere out in La La Land. But instead of being in La La Land, I'm in Krishna Land now. So we should become convinced to read regularly this Bhagavad Gita with the commentary by Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is the same Bhagavad Gita Arjuna heard 5,000 years ago, and you'll come to the same conclusion as Arjuna by reading this. I should surrender to Krishna, and I should become a devotee of Krishna, and I should serve the Lord with love and devotion, and believe His promise. Manmana bhava mad bhakto mad yajimam namaskuru mam evaisasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. Krishna says, always think of me, become my devotee, and offer your love and homage to me. If you do this, I promise you, you will come back to me. So we should believe this promise of Krishna. Mam evaisasi satyam te pratijane priyosame. You'll come back to me because you become very dear to me. This is the ultimate message of Bhagavad Gita. This is our destiny as human beings. This is the purpose of material creation, to give us a chance to go back to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Grantha Raja ki jai. Gaura Premanandi. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hey Bola, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hey bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hey bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Follow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gita Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gita Gora Hari Bol, Gita Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gita Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Gita Gora Hari Bol, Gita Yasumati Nandana Bhajabaranagara Gokula Ranjanadana Yasumati Nandana Bhajabaranagara Gokula Ranjanadana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana Kaliya Damana Vidana Amala Harila Maniya Vilasa Amala Harila Maniya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Nagina Nagarvara Vipina Purandara Nagina Nagarvara Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bhajajana Palana Sura Kulanasana Bhajajana Palana Sura Kulanasana Nanda Dodana Raghuvala Nanda Dodana Raghuvala Govinda Madhava Namanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Namanita Taskara Bolo Govinda Madhava Namanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Namanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Chamunda Tata Chara Gopi Vasanara Yamuna Tata Chara Gopi Vasanara Rasa Rasika Kipa Maya Rasa Rasika Kipa Maya Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara 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 Bhakti Vinodasaya Bhakti Vinodasaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Shikara Hare Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gaura Premanande ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravajik Charasthatara Satarashi Shri Shimali's Divine Grace Shri Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavani ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Harivilas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samkunda Radha Kunda Kind Govardhana ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. You want to play the harmonium?
What would you have?
Yeah.
Bhagavan ki jai. Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Gaura Premanandi. Haribo. We have a couple of quick announcements here. Tomorrow evening, we are celebrating the appearance of Lord Nityananda, who's actually Baladeva, Krishna's brother. And it's a grand celebration. We have a brand new outfit also. So, and you can see all the flowers are ready to go. So, if you have time, please come tomorrow night. And there's a big feast and a lot of fun. And then, well, 7 o'clock RT, 7:30, we'll begin and there's actually fasting tomorrow. What? 12 o'clock. What? What? Up to 12 o'clock, right? I don't understand that other, you went like, what? Oh, 12:12, okay. 12:21. Oh, you break the fast tomorrow, 12 o'clock and 21 minutes. Okay, got it. Took me a little while, but I got it. So, and then on that's tomorrow. That's what, January 29th. And on February the 4th, when is that? That is Saturday? Sunday. February the 4th, we have the appearance day of Srila Prabhupada's Guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So that's a very important day. And that celebration will be at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And February 14th is Mahashivaratri. So we love Lord Shiva, but there's no bong, no gambling, but there's plenty of lassi, and there's plenty of chanting Hare Krishna. So you'll get bonged by chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, so Mahashivaratri on February 14th, and we have again Shivaratri on February 17th, right? But at Sodo neighborhood in Seattle, we're opening up a weekly program there. So if you want to go where all the proletarians hang out, where all the marijuana shops are, in Sodo, which is south of the stadiums, right? We're renting a place there and starting a program. You're all welcome to come. Okay, so we want to thank the sponsors tonight, Ram Mukund Prabhu, on the occasion of Tanvi and Tulsi's birthdays. Yeah. And they have donated $501 tonight. Thank you very much, Ram Mukund Prabhu and his good wife. And then Sitaram Reddy and family, I suppose, have are sponsoring the feast. They've given $251. And Sujata and Guru Murti, on the occasion of Sri Krishna's Krishna. I thought he was on the altar. Where is he? We want to see the real Krishna now. So if Sri Krishna is here, the son of Sujata and Guru Murti, please come forward. They've donated $251. And then Aniruddha Mukhopadhyay, on the occasion of Sanyukta's 9th birthday. So Sanyukta is here. Hare Krishna, Sanyukta. Are you 9 years old? Yeah. Wonderful. Just 1 second, we're going to celebrate your birthday. Is there a cake for you? Did they make a cake? Is there a cake? We'll find out. Oh, well, we're going to find out. Because there's another birthday too. There's okay. And then also Amit Sharma and Sital Mataji on their marriage anniversary. So Amit, if he's here, and Shital on their marriage anniversary, and they've also donated $251. So thank you very much. So now we have two birthdays. Sanyukta Is that right, Sanyukta? And Shri Krishna, if he's here. Hi, Shri Krishna. Oh, see? What? Okay, so, well, wait a minute. Oh, by the way, I forgot to announce, this year's Holy Festival is on March 24th in Marymore Park. So it's going to be quite a celebration. Marymore Park on the 24th, beginning at 12 o'clock, going on to 5 o'clock. Saturday, March 24th. Okay, Hare Krishna. So now, Sanyukta and Shri Krishna. So let's get Prabhupada's garland. And there should be, is there two garlands there on Prabhupada? Is there one or two garlands? Two. Good. So we have a garland for you, and we have a garland for you. And then we're going to have a happy birthday, and I have presents for you. Come back and get your presents.